sewing friends. Today we are making a studio apron. These aprons are a lot of fun because you can use them for a lot of things. For instance, you can use them for gardening, you can use them for cooking, you could even use them when you're doing your chores and you want to carry your phone around or perhaps a little duster. They make really fun gifts as well. So in your sewing kit, you will find that you have 2 pieces of ribbon, you have a felt flower with the center circle, and then you will find that you have 2 pieces of the main apron fabric. And then you also have 1 piece that is already folded down. And this is going to be referred to as your apron pocket piece. And this is what we're going to use for the very beginning step. So keeping your fold so it's at the upper top, you're going to take your flower and you're going to center the best that you can do. You will then take your circle fabric and put it right into the middle. You'll take a pin and you're going to pin through all of the layers to hold in place. So again, this is with your fold on the top. You'll then take it to your sewing machine and by taking your presser foot, setting it down, putting your needle down, you're going to proceed by stitching a couple of stitches forward and then hitting our back tack button, or what we refer to as our back stitch, and just going backwards. That just helps reinforce these stitches. Then you will just go around the entire circle. So now we're going to take this pocket piece and we're going to set it directly on top of one of the main apron pieces. We're going to make sure that the fold is on the top right here and that all of our raw edges are lined up. Keep in mind, we're just doing that on one of the main pocket pieces. So we'll take this one and we'll set that off to the side. Once you have this lined up the best you can do, you'll put in some pins to hold in place. To the sewing machine, and we're going to do a stitch around those 3 sides. Now with our 3 sides all stitched, you're going to take a ruler and a piece of chalk. If you don't have chalk, you could always use a pencil, but make sure you do it lightly. But you're going to be making some straight lines and marking to make where our pockets will be. We'll do one on the right side and one on the left side of the flower. Then we'll take it to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch right down those lines. We put our presser foot down, our needle down. This is important to remember to make sure that right here on top of where you're making your pocket dividers, that you do what we refer to as a reinforcing stitch. We want to make sure that we go forward and back a couple of times because as you put things into these pockets, this spot right here gets a lot of wear and tear. And we will continue by doing it onto our other line. Okay, so now we will take our apron. Okay, so now it's time to attach the ribbon. Keep in mind, we're actually going to do it in the opposite direction than you think we should. We're going to take a piece of our ribbon and just above where the fold is, we're going to set it so both raw edges are lined up and we'll just pin in place. We'll do the same to the other ribbon on the other side. Keep in mind that this ribbon right now is facing towards the center of the apron. And what we'll do is we'll take this to the sewing machine and stitch these down. Okay, so now we're going to take our ribbon and we're actually going to tuck it in so that way it's out of the way when we add our backing. So just tuck it into one of the pockets. And if you need to, you can always pin these down as well. But now we'll take our second main piece of fabric, and with the pretty side, the right side, we're going to actually just set it right on top of our apron. We're going to line up all of our edges, and then we're going to pin and place. We will take this to the sewing machine. We'll start right after our opening and do our back tack. We can do a presser foot seam allowance, which means our presser foot's gonna run right along the entire edge of our apron. Okay, we have now stitched around our entire apron, but we left an opening. And by using that opening, we will now turn our apron right side out. And we're going to also remember to poke those corners. Is where our opening was, we're going to make sure that those raw edges are folded down. If you are with an adult, at this point, you could take this to the iron and do a nice press. Last step is to now close in our opening, and you can do a nice top stitch right along this top edge. Some of you may even actually want to sew around the entire apron, but for those of you that just want to do the top part, that will work fine as well. That, my friends, is how you make this studio apron. I hope you enjoyed making it as much as I did, and I can't wait to see you all soon.